Whoa, it's Wulzy. Welcome back to another Geometry Dash review episode. Lazerblitz. Lazerblitz, oh my god, what a classic creator, dude. So many bangers in here. Space Locked, Quest for Perfection, Ultra Drivers, Deadlocked X. All-time classic creator known for his flashy black and white and colorful style has dropped a new banger, ladies and gentlemen. Lightning Speed by Lazerblitz is a great level. I've been through in practice, I've played a little bit in normal mode, I've actually stitched together another recording using a couple of cuts because I'm a noob, which I'm going to be using to review this level in this video. I'm going to play it a little bit first because the gameplay is incredibly fun for the most part. There's a couple of janky parts near the end, which is unfortunate, but the second half of this level just looks immaculate. This dual part stays true to the original, which is Fast as Lightning by Ripples, I do believe. I'm going to hop into that real quick because you'll see the similarities right off the bat with the ship intro, the spacey cube at the beginning, the glowy designs. Oh my god, the glow usage is so cool. I don't know how to play it though. This level, Lightning Speed, is chock full of references to the original level while also building upon it. As you can see, there is a huge landscape here that's created with different space stations and floating objects, backgrounds that extend out super far into the distance. A lot of glow. You've got the same kind of title card there and the glow that resembles the original a lot. I think it's a very successful remake. The original had this gimmick with the ship and the duel that didn't move, and this one just builds upon it perfectly in my opinion. Look how genius it is, dude. I love this level so much. Alright, so I've pulled up my footage now. There's a cut in the middle cube, and there's a cut at the final duel. Just thought I'd clarify that. Everything's played legit, though. You can tell that Lazerblitz made this, even though it's in a slightly different, slightly more disconnected style in the beginning. It has the vibes going with it, you know, the little technical pieces. If I can get a good pause, I'll show you. Like these little connecting blocks. The panels in the back with the default objects are very pretty, too. You got the black and white block contrast. You can tell that this is definitively Lazerblitz. The white transition. This is the most Lazerblitzy part of the entire level. This is his classic style. Lots of movements down with different layers of different brightnesses, including the spikes too. They move at different speeds, and these blocks move up and down. The white and black pulses, they're kind of inverse. The speed changes, the teleportations up and down with invisible teleporters. You see right there, this jump is quite blind. But other than that, this plays extremely well. There's the first cut. This part is so beautiful. This part, for me, is a 10 out of 10. From the wave almost to the end, there's a couple of things I don't like, but this is so good looking, dude. This is unbelievable. To come back from maybe a your hiatus from releasing any levels and just dropping this absolute banger from out of nowhere where the blocks light up, they've got different compartments, it's all moving, it's got insane glow usage. This is where it slightly drops off for me because the duel seems a little bit empty compared to what we've just seen. The song is ramping up and we don't quite have the same level of detail or any more detail than the previous parts to really match that progression, but we have a really cool lightning theme with low opacity swords that kind of exuberate light. We've got the lightning in the background that kind of shoots down. Got the particles on the right hand side, something that was repeated from the beginning ship you see here. All in all, I think this is a really beautiful level. I mean, there's a few very simple assets like the beginning ship. This isn't quite as strong as the rest of the level for me, and this transition too could definitely move the arrows a little bit instead of just having a white screen flash here. I feel like that could be a bit more creative, but the transition through where you drop out of the beam in the sky is just so interesting to me. We've got the stars from the original level, lighting up detail, which was a thing in 1.9 when you had 4 color channels. People will put a black background and they would light up certain blocks. This detail on the ground's a little bit weird. I'm not sure why there's just random patches that are brighter than others, but you know, we'll let it slide. Such a cool text card right there, how the 3D pops out. I'm not gonna lie, the colors in this part don't 100% convince me. I'm not sure whether it's the pink not flashing bright enough for me or if it's the blocks on the bottom. Yeah, you see there's gaps here. This isn't 100% Lazerblitz. Like, there could have been more put into this part in my opinion. And these disconnected blocks, they look alright. I mean, it's nothing special. There's just something about this part overall. Maybe if it's just like the slight gaps in quality overall between every single asset that's just coming together and just not convincing me here, but this part is slightly weaker than the rest in my opinion. As well as this, I'm not a fan of the space underneath these blocks. They're very bright, and to have nothing as a contrast beneath them, it feels very strange. And these pillars are interesting, but I feel like they could have backing pieces, because later on at the level, you've done this perfectly. You've got low brightness backing pieces that add so much depth, but there's no depth in this middle ship, and we're just left with these awkward little stripy decoration pieces that don't move with the rest. I mean, if you look at this block, you can see it's not 100% there movement-wise. These could, like, move from the sides inwards or something, just to make them fit in a bit more rather than just sitting there. I feel like they're there just to fill the space, which isn't necessarily a good thing. Also, the spikes at the bottom could definitely have some sort of pulse going for them. The rest of this part is so bright, and the black spikes at the bottom just feels really awkward. But the beginning of the level is the weaker side for me, so don't worry. This part is beautiful. I really like it. The ship goes behind these arrows, which is an interesting design choice, but it actually looks pretty cool. We've got the rainbow blocks here, which have 2 blocks at a time that are incremented by hue and stuff like that, with low opacity blending details on the top, which makes it look shiny. I really like that. We've got movements here and there. Like, this level's feeling alive at this point. I like the use of monsters. That's a funny throwback. And I think each detail here works extremely well. I really like how these lines cut off and begin again. It's a very interesting path here, and the fact that the ship just goes straight through there is so interesting. It's pretty strong gameplay-wise in its gimmicks and its ideas. This part flows pretty well, although it's slightly blind at times, how stuff just moves in your face, but that's just classic Lazerblitz. I mean, you can't complain. It's fun to learn for sure. You see how much more convincing these designs are when you've got different brightnesses of these spikes, different layers to the movements and stuff like that. It feels so much more alive. The part feels very whole, but what I have to notice is sometimes the gaps in the ground spikes are a little bit overbearing, how they overlap. You see right here is a big culprit, slightly messy in its layering, and just the way that it's set up. I mean, it gets covered up, but it's pretty easy to notice that there's a few flaws in design here and there. It's not like I'm taking a video and just pausing. This is something that I noticed in normal mode when I was dying to this part and looking around. Like, it's almost perfect. There's just slight imperfections that you notice when you die. I'm not sure if this is intentional, but this block isn't 100% opaque. You can see the ground spikes through the back, which is an interesting idea. I wish that was more committed to all the way through, but the designs we have look good. You see the rising glow piece, that looks so beautiful, especially when these blocks are moving up and down. It feels like it's charging you into the wave. Now, this is where the perfection starts to me. I see absolutely nothing wrong with this part, how everything lights up. The blocks look good when they're faded out, and they look good when they're faded in. It's just so beautiful. The gameplay in this wave is also immaculate. When it splits up here, good use of D blocks here. It's slightly confusing to cross over once again, but as long as you touch the ground on the top and bottom, you can come back in pretty smoothly. But I'm gonna play this wave part as a whole, because I think this is a great testament to the original Fast as Lightning by Ripples or Rabbit. Man, just look at it. This got Twitter in a clamp, dude. When Lazerblitz was posting these previews, people were absolutely gassed. Oh, this is so cool. The amount of movement tricks here with different layers behind, the amount of blending you've used really allows you to go crazy with the different glow that you've used and the kind of blur that you've made. You see there's different layers behind this block that move up. This is true Lazerblitz style. Like, this is watermarked at this point. And this part feels slightly emptier because the blocks seem to be pretty empty apart from that one square that lights up when you jump. Jeez, I did not notice that pulse was that big. There's a lot of detail that just gets washed out by the white, and there's a lot of detail that just doesn't seem to be there. Like, before we had this insane, crazy, unique deco, but now we've just got this OG block just sticking out. Like, look, before you were using glow, you had different backing pieces. This looks so cool. Pixel decoration. Even this middle ball has some sort of object to just build up the depth here, but I see none of that in the end duel for some reason. I'm not sure if it's because it's transitioning out of this part with bright colors and fades from black into color and stuff like that, but the duel after just doesn't really feel like a follow-on. It feels more like a lead-up, to be honest. It feels like it could be placed earlier in the level. Like, it doesn't have the same hype as everything else that's been thrown at me so far. You see, it just kind of drops off for me. We have some unique detail here with layering and ground spikes and stuff like that, but in the middle, it just seems kind of dead. I mean, we're kind of reusing this structure right here, but it's much less impressive. Seems like it's detail for the sake of being detail and not, like, actually serving a purpose, but this glow is cool on these mini objects. You see what I mean? Like, this is just a regular object at the top. There could have been way more detail added, but this is a classic Lazerblitz duel right here. I can't fault this. Wow, I didn't realize how bright the pulses were in this level. The blocks are moving beautifully. The pulses are going off as we go past. It's just such a cool part. But again, you can see there's huge gaps now. It feels like the level was slightly brushed to the side as Lazerblitz got to the end. But I can't really fault Lazerblitz. Like, it's been a long time since you dropped a level, and it's almost 2 minutes long. There's only so much you can call back to from the original level, and this was just built built in his spare time. Like, it's not a huge passion project. It's just a cool project that he dropped. That transition's also weird. I've never been a fan of black screens on the side that just sort of disappear as you go through. It just seems super odd. There's an ugly line here. But this part is also pretty clean. And I like the ending too, how you kind of moved the pixel decoration to the end where it's darker. I also like how the pixel decoration kind of bleeds into the blocks at the end. It's exactly what I would have pictured his comeback to look like. You got some new stuff, you got some classic stuff in the middle, and you got some absolute passion at the end. Like, look at the way this reveals itself. It's such a cool building technique to move the glow behind that mask in such a black and white and colorful based design like that. It works so perfectly. It's a level that I'm very fond of and keep looking back over, even if it's not the most impressive at certain points, bringing in old vibes and also new vibes in one almost XL piece. All of the movements are so cool, and I love the fact that throughout the whole level you keep those pulses that light up as you go across. I love this gameplay going in towards the middle cube, except this transition's slightly annoying for me. I can never figure out the timing I need to press that. This part plays so weirdly. Like, you barely click and you get so much momentum from each jump that you make because of the amount the level moves and throws you around. It's so interesting. I wanted to go through the level once again in practice mode just to show you this gameplay in the wave because it's so cool. You cross over, you double up there, and then you have to control both sides. It's so weird. Like, what the heck? It's such an interesting idea. I can't believe in 5 years no one's really played with the wave like that in a slightly easier level. Like, this is probably a medium demon. I do love the movement here, and now that I've watched it with pauses and stuff, I'm noticing the white flashes a lot more. It's definitely interesting. Would I have preferred tint pulses? No, I don't think I would, because the white pulses work so well with the black and whites. Ooh, that Lazerblitz usually goes with in his designs. But yeah, I can't help but notice that this gets slightly empty towards the end. It's not a perfect body of work, but it's definitely a very nice return. You've covered a lot of bases with this. I'm gonna throw away this end screen with the new Mega Hack beta. It's such a banger. Wow, I got a new color for that. Thank you, Lazerblitz. I'm gonna send this in game, but that's not how the demon system works, unfortunately. If it's not rated already by the time this video comes out, I can assure you it has been put in the demon suggestions and mods are looking at it. I think we can expect it to get rated. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this Geometry Dash review episode. Check the links in the description, leave a like and subscribe, and have a good day.